Hi, I'm Mark Travers, and welcome to the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championship. Well, 1998 was definitely the year of Marco Dubé, but how about that pair of Kawasaki's of Jean-Sébastien Waugh and Blair Morgan? 1999 is a brand new season, and here to set it up for us is the CMRC president, Mark Stallybrass. Mark, as race fans, what can we expect to see this year?
Well, CMRC has undergone a lot of expansion this year into Western Canada and Quebec, so there's going to be a lot more competitors from those areas that will be following the series. We've added two rounds to the series, one in Ujay-Bougamou, Quebec, and the other in Grunthal, Manitoba. So it's going to have a good series for the riders to follow. And we're really happy as well to welcome Ross Peterson to our crew. Ross has won 42 Canadian National Motocross Championships in his career, and he's going to provide a lot of really good insight to what the riders are thinking underneath their helmet.
Well, let's go now to former Canadian champion, my co-host, Ross Peterson.
Well, thank you, Mark. It's actually great to be involved in the sport that I was so active in my 14-year professional career. You know, this morning coming down pit row, I actually got some butterflies as if I was going to be racing it today. Earlier on today, I got to talk to a couple of the top pros in '98 and hear what they had to say about the '99 season.
Everything's looking good this year. The bikes are a lot better than last year, and I feel better. Now I'm really pumped to be out here racing, and I just want to just go out and win this thing for myself.
I won't have any problem with the physics because I've been training really hard, so I'm not worried about that. I'm a little bit more worried about the 125 because I just started riding my 125 2 days ago, so I'm not quite fast on, but still, I want to race two classes. But the 250, I feel really good. It's the same bike I've been racing in the States, and be a good weekend for me actually. I'm pumped for that.
Well, there's no question that our riders are ready to get this 1999 season underway. You know, if you've never witnessed the spectacle of motocross racing, it is something to behold. We're talking about 40 pro riders on the track at one time, ripping it up, huge air, a lot of dirt. It is a day of mud, sweat, and tears. But the most important aspect of each race is the hole shot, getting to that first turn first. But to get a little insight on that, we're going to go back to my partner, Ross Peterson. Now, Ross, you've had a couple of hole shots in your day, and you've had a chance to talk to some of the riders out there. Give us a little insight on what they're going to be looking for getting into that first turn.
Well, that's right, Mark. You want to have the shortest, most direct line to the first turn. Here in Barrie, the turn is very fast, and it's a sweeping U-turn. You want to be on the inside here. On the outside is where all the pileups and the wrecks are going to occur. And to secure a decent finish here, you want to be in the top 5 on the start, and you want to be on the inside.
Okay, but before we get started with our first race, let's have a look at the 1999 schedule.
The 1999 Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships begins here at RJ Motorsport Park in Midhurst, Ontario. The next stop will be June 13th at Riverglade MX Park in Moncton, New Brunswick. On June 20th, we'll be at Ujay-Bougamou in Quebec. July 4th, we stop at Grunthal, Manitoba. July 11th, we're at Temple Hill Racetrack in Raymond, Alberta, followed by July 18th's race in Antler Lake, Edmonton. On July 25th, we'll be in British Columbia, Nanaimo. And August 8th, Alberton, Quebec, with our final round taking place August 15th in Walton, Ontario. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with our first 125 Pro Class Moto. Before we go to our first event, let's take a look at the 1998 overall top 10 competitors.
Welcome back to the Honda opening round of the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships here from RJ Motorsport Park in Barrie, Ontario. The riders are on the line for the first 125 moto of the afternoon. One of the riders we want to keep our eyes on is number 361, Jason McCormick, who's riding for Planet Honda. Now, Ross, as we wait for that 5-second board, this is the time during the race when the riders have to have nerves of steel. I mean, the adrenaline has got to be going here, and you know this yourself.
That's right, Mark. The adrenaline really starts to flow when the 5-second board goes up.
And the 5-second board is up, Ross, for the first 125. The riders have got their throttles pinned, waiting for the gate to drop. And here we go with the first 125 of the season. Let's see who makes that first corner and gets the whole shot, Ross.
They're into the first turn right now, and the guys on the inside have gone through smooth. No pileups at all through the first turn. Unbelievable.
Well, that was a great start for number 6, Ryan Gould, who looked like he had the whole shot coming in, but I'm not sure right now. It looks like we got a Honda bike out in front.
Looks like Jason McCormick's got the whole shot. He is out in front on his Planet Honda.
Well, Ross, we talked about this before the start of this first race. We were going to keep our eyes peeled for those Planet Honda riders, Sebastian Waugh and McCormick. Right now, McCormick has the lead. You know, these guys have been racing down in the States in AMA series, and with that experience, I tell you what, they're very fast.
That's right, Mark. We've got Ryan Gould in second, and it looks like it's Morgan in third.
Well, we knew that Blair Morgan was going to be up in the mix, and how about that familiar ass-hitting kick coming over that big tabletop jump? It looks like in fourth place we have number 2, Jean-Sebastian Waugh, so we got some big names up in front right now.
It looks real good. The first lap is very hectic for these guys. They got a lot of adrenaline flowing still from the starting line, and looks like McCormick's riding real strong and smooth. Gauld's running about a second behind McCormick, and then right behind Gauld is Morgan running about a second, and then we've got Doug DeHaan in fourth place. Excellent position for the Ontario rider.
Right now we're watching a great battle for 5th place between number 9, Lane Islansky riding for Blackfoot Motorsports, and number 2, Jean-Sebastian Waugh riding for Planet Honda. So we got a couple of Hondas here battling it out, and I tell you what, this is what racing's all about, especially in the first couple of laps.
I spoke with Jean before the series has started here earlier on this morning, and it is the first time he's been riding and racing this 125. Currently he's been campaigning the 250 in the U.S. and doesn't have a lot of riding experience on the 125.
Here we are with our 4th place rider, number 26, Doug DeHaan, riding for Ron Ashley's two-wheel Pro Action Kawasaki team. You know, he did not ride a lot in 1998, but the word is that he's going to be riding in every series this year and putting it all together. Well, look at this battle we have for 8th place between number 16, Chuck Mesley, and number 9, Lane Islansky. How about Mesley? He has got the number 16 plate. This is a great ride for him. We're back with our number 1 bike of Marco Dubé, riding for Suzuki AXO Canada, currently in 11th place. Now, this isn't a familiar spot for Dubé. He did not get a great start, but the 125 is a faster bike for him. And I think that, you know, before too long, we're going to see him pressing into the top 10 and making his way into the points. One thing that we notice about former champions, they never give up, and they wait till the checkered flag before the answers are called. Oh, here we are with a great battle for 2nd place. Oh, and yes, it looks like number 3, Blair Morgan, has passed Ryan Gould for 2nd place. I tell you what, Blair Morgan is an experienced tactical rider. He waited for an opening, he caught up to Ryan Gould. When he saw the opening, he took it, and now he's in 2nd place. We're back with our leader, number 361, Jason McCormick, riding for Planet Honda. Currently in 1st place, as I stated. I tell you what, you look at Jason's style, he's riding very fast right now, but this is an offensive style. He's got a 4 or 5 second lead on the 2nd place bike, and he does not have to worry about who's behind him. We're back with our battle for 2nd place, number 3, Blair Morgan on the two-wheel Pro Action Kawasaki, followed by Ryan Gould, who originally had 2nd place. Morgan was able to catch up and pass him. Morgan is riding a great race now. Now, if you remember last year at the 1998 opening round in Barrie, Blair Morgan was really strong that day. But as the day progressed, Jean-Sebastian Waugh was able to overtake him and win the last 3 motos. And Marco Dubé was the one that won the first 125. But Blair Morgan, who was riding snowcross during the winter, is now in 2nd place. And oh my, look at that, Jean-Sebastian Waugh looks like, oh, he just about had Gould coming around the start-finish line. He's back in 3rd place, now he's in 4th place.
As I say, Jean's got the experience, and he will be looking for different lines. Jean and Blair will be looking for different lines on this track, and you can see right now Jean has moved up. Morgan must have had a little bit of a bobble because he seems to have dropped back a little bit, and Jean is on the move. He's got the track figured out now.
We noticed that Ryan Gould had a bobble in the whip section behind the start line, and he lost a place to Jean-Sebastian Waugh. Yes, he has. There he is, number 2, Jean-Sebastian Waugh, currently in 3rd place, battling Blair Morgan for 2nd. But how about this battle for 4th place? We got the number 6 bike of Ryan Gould at 26, Doug DeHaan. DeHaan tried to go outside, no. Gould put the block on him, was able to accelerate quicker out of the corner. How about that, Doug DeHaan? Look at that style. There he goes. He takes Gould on the inside. Look at that style, elbows out. Doug DeHaan, what a fast rider. Look at that. There we have Doug DeHaan heading into the Twin Peaks section. He's currently in 4th spot. He has passed Gould. What a race we got going here today.
There you saw just Morgan go through that sandberm. Morgan knows that Waugh's catching him. He just can't figure out where he's making the time on him.
That's right, Ross. This is the battle for second place between Morgan and Waugh. Oh, look at Jean-Sebastian Waugh stick Blair Morgan on the inside. You know, Ross, we talk about the fast line on this track. We just saw Jean-Sebastian Waugh outmuscle Blair Morgan for the inside line, which was the faster one on that corner. He stuck him, he took the turn, and now he's in second place. That is experience altogether, Ross.
Well, that's right. You know, that's the experience that you get out of riding down in the States with all the Americans down there. They're some of the fastest riders in the world right now. Waugh's been down there and over in Europe since September of last year, and you can see the experience, and there's no doubt about it, the training. He is definitely the strongest rider right now out in the track.
Back with the #1 bike of Marco Dubé, currently riding in 10th place. Now, this is not a familiar spot for our 1998 national champion. We don't know what's wrong. Maybe he's had some mechanical problems, or maybe he's dumped the bike. We're not sure. We're going to have to get a report on him. Here we have a great battle between #8 Pomeroy and DeVries. Oh, Pomeroy just took DeVries on the inside. You know what, Ross? That was almost the exact same move that Sebastian Waugh used on Morgan. But I'll tell you what, this is experience on this track. Chris Pomeroy races here a lot, and he knows this track, and he's got a nice fluid style. Way to go, Chris. Oh, look at this. The #1 bike of Marco Dubé. It looks like Dubé's had a crash. He doesn't look so good. His helmet is off. They're trying to get his bike started. Ross, this is disastrous. I don't know if he's going to get back in the race.
There's no doubt about it, Marco, when you got your helmet off on the track, you're not going to be finishing that race. You never take your helmet off unless there's something wrong.
We're back with our leader, number 361, Jason McCormick, riding for Planet Honda out of the United States. You know, Ross, as I look at Jason ride this track, you can tell that he's in shape, and you can tell that he's put a lot of hours on this bike. And riding in the AMA series, that definitely has to help. You know, he took the whole shot. He's been out in front since the beginning. He hasn't even been tested, so this has probably been a really comfortable race for him. Here he is heading into the last turn, getting out in front of the whoop section, in front of the crowd. Let's see if he's going to, oh, a little wave to the crowd. Let's see if he puts together on the last jump. Number 361, Jason McCormick takes the checkered flag on the first 125 of the day. We're back with the number 6 bike of Ryan Gold, Machine Racing Yamaha, in 5th place. He likes this track, and he's going to come in. He's going to take 5th place. Right behind him is number 16, Chuck Mesley on the Machine Racing Honda. We'll be right back with the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. Welcome back to the Honda opening round of the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. Ross, let's have a look at the results from the first 125. And how about that Jason McCormick riding for Planet Honda? You know what? He got the whole shot, and he led from start to finish.
He ran away with it, and as I stated before, if you can get that start, it makes that second part of your job to the finish line much easier.
And a great race for number 26, Doug DeHaan, finishing in 4th spot. And rounding out the top 5, we got number 6, Ryan Gold. You're watching the Honda opening round of the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. This is the first 250 moto of the afternoon. Riders are on the line. 30-second board is up. The anticipation is really happening. Waiting for the 5-second board, which we have up. Throttles are pinned. Riders waiting for the gate to drop, and the gate is dropped, and let's see who gets that whole shot. It looks like number 341, Ryan Huffman, riding for Planet Honda. What a great start for the Americans. First in the 125s, now in the 250s. How about that?
Yeah, the American rider got the start, and he's off. And the Americans are noted for their quick starting. It looks like Gold in second again, and that same start as he got in the first 125 moto.
You're watching our leader, number 341. That's Ryan Huffman, riding for Planet Honda. He got the whole shot, and now he's out in front. Looks like following him is number 6, Ryan Gold. So that's 2 great starts for Ryan today. You know, he likes this track. He practices here all the time, so you'd figure that he'd have some great starts. But how about those American riders? You know, they're noted for their quick starts, and although they haven't ridden this track before, they really are putting it all together. And I tell you what, that's what experience does. It gets you out in front, and it gets you winning.
We've got a Kawasaki in second. I can't make out the number yet, but it could very well be DeHaan or Morgan.
You were right, Ross. Number 26, Doug DeHaan, riding for the two-wheel Pro Action Kawasaki team. Following him is a Yamaha, I think that's Gold. And behind Gold, it looks like number 2, Jean-Sebastian Waugh. So we knew he was going to be in the mix. How about that, Jean-Sebastian Waugh? Is he not fast?
You know, I think that Yamaha is Brandon Lloyd out of BC on a Pacific Yamaha.
How about that, Brandon Lloyd? Okay, so we've got some familiar names and some unfamiliar names in the top 5 so far.
That's incredible. He's a sponsored rider out of Pacific Yamaha, Bill McLean's shop out there in Vancouver, BC, and great showing for the Yamaha rider.
There you have the number 26 bike of Doug DeHaan. who's currently in second place. You know, Doug started in third place. He was behind Gould, but he's been able to pass Gould. And I tell you what, this is a great race for Doug. But did you notice right behind him that red bike, the familiar number 2, Jean-Sébastien Waugh? So Doug's going to have to keep his eyes open and his head up. But look, no, that's number 60, Jesse Wilson, in 4th place. In 1998, Jesse Wilson was the wrench for Chris Pomeroy. He's put away his tools, and now he's riding the number 60 Machine Racing Yamaha, only in the 250 class, and putting it all together. Great race, Jesse. Here we are back with a battle for second place. Number 26, Doug DeHaan, followed by number 2, Jean-Sébastien Waugh. I tell you what, Jean-Sébastien Waugh, this is his bike. This is the 250. He rides this bike professionally down in the States in the AMA series, and I know he's more comfortable on it. He's spent a lot of time on it, and this is definitely the faster bike for him. So DeHaan's going to have to keep his head up. Oh, here we have a rider down. We just have a report. Number 16, Chuck Mesley's at the bottom of the Twin Peaks. He crashed over the first peak. I think he's going to be out of this race. We've got a lot of people down there looking at him.
Looks like Waugh has gotten by our number 26 rider, Doug DeHaan. And as I said, he was pressing him hard and waiting to make a move. He will shortly be on top of Ryan Huffman here and hopefully making a move on the American rider. And Waugh's been having phenomenal results out of the United States, and I look forward to him seeing him make the pass on Ryan Huffman.
You're watching the number 2 bike of Jean-Sébastien Waugh riding his 250 for Planet Honda. Unfortunately, we had a chance to talk to Jean yesterday, and he said that he's only going to be able to make 2 or possibly 3 of the Canadian races this year. He's here at RJ Motorsport Park in Barrie. He's going to be in Alberton, Quebec, and he might be in Raymond, Alberta for the 5th race stop of the season. So that's unfortunate for Canadian race fans because Jean-Sébastien Waugh is the fastest and the best rider in Canada. Here we have the number 26 bike, Doug DeHaan, who's in 3rd or 4th spot. We haven't got a number on him right now, but riding a great race. And right now, Ron Ashley looks like he has 2 bikes in the top 5, so that's great positioning for him, although we know he'd like to go 1-2, but he's got to be happy with that 2 bikes in the top 5. Here we are back with our leader, number 341. That's Ryan Huffman. And right behind him, the number 2 bike is Jean-Sébastien Waugh. So Jean has really closed the distance on Huffman. And I'll tell you what, this is a great, great battle. We've got 2 riders who have been battling it out in the States on the 250s. Huffman doesn't know this track very well, but Jean-Sébastien Waugh is very comfortable here. Let's see if he can make the pass.
As Jean ever closed on Ryan here in the last half a lap, he's really pushing it there. He's got the confidence and ability to pass Ryan, and it will be happening here shortly. You can see he just about tried to take him there in the first turn. And there again, showing him the fender in the second corner here. Really pushing that Honda hard.
Sébastien Waugh on the inside. Does he have him? No, Huffman goes outside and accelerates quicker out of the corner. You know, Ross, that's one of the things about the sand track that you had mentioned. Sometimes the outside line is the quicker one.
That's a little bit of a problem with sand tracks. Always the outside line is the fastest line on when you're riding the bottom of the berm, and you can see Jean's trying every different line. He's got him. No, he just about had him on the outside there on the flat outside line, but Ryan obviously had a little more traction riding on the berm.
As the riders head into the Twin Peaks, this is almost like deja vu from 1998, where Jean-Sébastien Waugh was right behind Morgan in the first 250 race. And Morgan left the door open and Sébastien Waugh passed him. And you know what? I think that's exactly what's happening right here with Sébastien Waugh and Huffman. Huffman, I think, is slowing Sébastien Waugh down. And on a track like this where Sébastien Waugh is very comfortable, it's one mistake by Huffman and Sébastien Waugh is going to go right past him.
I just saw Waugh looking back there to see where DeHaan was. He knows Huffman's holding him up. He doesn't want DeHaan to get too close and push him back to 3rd. So you can tell he's being held up. And it looks like, he tried to put a block on him, but he couldn't make it stick. And here again, another inside line for Waugh trying to take over that first place spot from Huffman.
Now, Ross, you mentioned that the outside line was the faster one on the sandy track, and if we notice on that last turn, we saw Huffman go on the outside. He was able to accelerate quicker out of that turn and hold Sébastien Waugh back and accelerate quicker.
Huffman right now is hanging on for dear life. Waugh's inside, outside, any other line that Huffman isn't taking. Waugh's trying to make the pass stick, and in the meantime, DeHaan's closing a little bit on him.
Ross, we talked about this before. I think Sébastien Waugh is the fastest bike on the track right now, and the reason I say that is that he's been able to make up the gap on Ryan Huffman. And right now, he's right on Huffman's tail. He's waiting for Huffman to set up a vulnerable spot. Maybe he's going to make the pass on him. So this is some great racing here. Oh, here we go into the back whip section, right behind the start. Does Sébastien Waugh have him? He's got him on the high jump section. Oh, Sébastien Waugh just about endoed his bike. Huffman on the outside. Huffman gets a faster line. Oh, he's got it coming into the first turn. That is some great racing by Ryan Huffman. What a defensive battle.
Huffman is definitely slowing Watt down. DeHaan is definitely moving up on him, and Jean is starting to take some evasive moves, and as you can see around the track. There, he's got him. He's going to make this one stick, and he has got him. He finally got around Huffman, and Watt was definitely the faster rider there. You could tell even navigating the track, he was looking back to see where DeHaan was. He was getting worried that DeHaan was going to catch them both and make them move.
Here we have a battle for 10th place. We've got our number 1 bike, Marco Dubé, riding for Suzuki AXO Canada. Oh, he just passed Jason Thorne, number 10, on the outside. Ross, this track is so dynamic. I mean, we've seen people pass on the inside, outside. We just saw Jean-Sébastien Watt pass Huffman on the inside. There we see Dubé passing Thorne on the outside. You know what? As this day progresses and the conditions start to dry, this track is going to get even tougher to race. So we'll keep our eye on these racers as the day progresses. We'll be right back with the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. Back to the Honda opening round of the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. I'm Mark Travers with my co-host Ross Peterson. You're watching the first 250 moto of the day. This is the battle for second place. We have the number 341 bike of Ryan Huffman and number 3 Blair Morgan, who has passed Doug DeHaan and is currently in third place. Coming out, oh, Morgan on the inside, coming around the first turn from the start-finish line. There we got Huffman on the inside. Is Morgan going to go wide? No, Huffman goes inside. He sticks the turn and accelerates out. We've been talking about lines all day. It looked like Ryan Huffman had a really nice line coming into that turn. He squared it off in this sand track and was able to get an aggressive throttle out of there and really accelerate quickly. Boy, this is a great battle between 2 great riders, although they haven't had a lot of time riding against each other. But Morgan looks like he's one of the faster bikes out there. Oh, Morgan just took Huffman on the inside. What a line by Blair Morgan. You saw him accelerate into that turn. He stuck it, and now he's in second place. Great riding.
That's right. He came on the inside, and he blocked Huffman on that, and he made sure this time it stuck.
Well, Ross, you're talking about the stick. It looks to me like Ryan Huffman leaves the door open a little when he's coming into the turn, but he sticks it and accelerates out quickly, and that's worked for him. But look at this. We got number 26, Doug DeHaan, coming in on Huffman. Is he going to be able to pass him? Huffman on the inside. DeHaan goes outside wide. He accelerates. Oh, he just took him. Doug DeHaan just took Ryan Huffman on the outside. What a great pass.
It looks like Huffman's actually getting tired. I can't believe this. It's his first moto of the day, and he looks like he's almost fading a little bit. Like he's letting out 3 riders go by him.
As we watch the number 2 bike of Jean-Sébastien Watt, we just got word that the last lap flag has been issued. So Jean-Sébastien Watt is on his last lap, and he'll be preparing to take the checkered flag. We'll keep our eyes peeled to see if any bikes are close to it. But how about this battle for 8th place between number 60, Jesse Wilson, and number 1, Marco Dubé. What a great ride.
Dubé is out there, he's riding. You can see he's starting to loosen up every lap. Those injuries that he took in the first moto, he's starting to work them out of him. And there he goes. He's made his pass on him.
But look at Wilson pick up the pace. How about that? Look at Dubé on the inside, Wilson outside. Oh, great acceleration by Marco Dubé. Boy, that is the sign of experience. Great pass and great acceleration coming out of the corner. We're back with our leader, number 2, Jean-Sébastien Watt, riding his 250 for Planet Honda. In first place by a long shot. And I tell you what, Canadian race fans, have a look. Here is the best, the numero uno, the number 1 rider in Canadian motocross racing today. He's here at the RJ Motorsport track just to get some extra wheels in, some extra reps, and he's putting it all together and giving some Canadian race fans everything they got.
You know, when I saw Jean in 1993, the year that I retired in, I always said to him that he's got the ability of winning the Canadian Championship. He just won that moto very easily, and he's got the ability not only to win a Canadian Championship, but also to win an American National Championship. He definitely has the speed and the determination.
Let's have a look at the race results from the first 250 moto of the afternoon. No surprise, Jean-Sébastien Watt out in front, takes the checkered flag. How about Doug DeHaan in third place? Great race for him. 2 Kawasaki's in the top 5. That's got to make Ron Ashley happy. And Darcy Lang closing out the top 5. The riders are on the line for the second 125 moto of the afternoon here at RJ Motorsport Park in Barrie. 30-second board is up. Throttles are getting pinned, waiting for the 5-second board, which is up, and the gate is dropped, and here we go with the second 125 moto. Ross, who's going to get that whole shot?
Well, I'll be able to tell you in a short moment here, Mark. Around the inside is the Honda rider of Jason McCormick again. Second whole shot of the day. Unbelievable.
As the riders round the second turn, we got number 361, Jason McCormick in first place, followed by, looks like, number 5, that's Darcy Lang in second place. What a great start for Darcy. We thought it was Blair Morgan, but no, it is Darcy Lang. So he's got to be happy to be up in the mix. It looks like we have a Yamaha rider in third place. That's Ryan Gold. What a great day for Ryan Gold in terms of starts. Incredible. Look at Lang come up and press McCormick on the inside. McCormick goes wide. He's able to accelerate coming out of that corner. Boy, I tell you what, those American riders really know how to take the wide line on sandy tracks and ride them fast. There's McCormick into the Twin Peaks, the second peak of the Twin, coming down into that bottom corner. Now, one of the things that you'll notice, and this is the third race of the day, you notice how this track is starting to get very grooved. And coming into those big corners, there's big berms that are built up. That's what starts to define the line for these riders, whether they go inside or whether they go outside. And we've seen a lot of riders take an outside line, which, according to you, Ross, has been one of the faster ones. So we'll have to keep our eye on McCormick and see which line he takes if he's pressured later on this race. Here we are with a great battle between number 20, Justin Huska, and number 3, Blair Morgan. Look at Morgan go on the outside. He handled that berm, accelerated quick out of the corner, and did he just about end over his bike into the Twin Peaks? Morgan is out in front. We'll have to get a position on Morgan. We're not sure exactly where he is, but he just had a great pass on number 20, Justin Huska.
Well, we're back with Jason McCormick here. He looks like he's comfortably out front. He's got a several second lead over second spot here, and he looks real smooth out there. We'll see if the Canadians can wear him down a little bit here in the early stages of the moto.
We're back with our number 1 bike, that's Marco Dubé. We haven't got a position on him yet, but I do not think he's in the top 10. Remember, Marco Dubé crashed in the first 125 moto of the day, and he hurt himself. Dubé just about ended over his bike, but he's regained control. Unbelievable riding, Marco Dubé. How did he do that? We thought he was totally out of control. He thought he crashed, but no, Dubé put it back together, and he's still in this race. Look at this battle between Morgan and Ryan Gold. Morgan on the outside, he's got Gold. He's currently now in 4th place. Look at Blair Morgan putting it all together. Look at that style, Blair Morgan.
He's really on the gas, Mark. He's moved up, 6, 7 positions here in the last lap. He's on the move, and he knows he has to really work hard to reel in the leaders that are several bike lengths ahead of him.
We're back with our battle for 5th place. It's Dubé. Dubé goes wide. Oh, he takes Huska wide. How about that line for Marco Dubé? I tell you what, you saw Justin Huska. It looked like he was slowing down on the inside. Maybe there was some slow dirt. Marco Dubé took the outside line and really accelerated ahead. We're with our leader, number 361, Jason McCormick, running the 125 for Planet Honda, who got a second hole shot of the day in the 125. He did not win the first 125, but he's out in front right now. But that's what an experienced rider has to do. If he doesn't finish well in his first moto of the day, he has to finish well in the second one. You're watching the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. Welcome back to the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. You're watching the second 125 of the day. Here we are with our leader, number 361, Jason McCormick, who's been leading since the onset. He got the hole shot, but right behind him, his teammate number 2, Jean-Sébastien Roy, who goes outside and takes McCormick on the outside. What a great pass by Jean-Sébastien Roy off the double. Here they go into the back whoop section behind the starting line. Oh, this is a great battle. Look at McCormick on the inside, Sébastien Roy on the outside. Oh, they just touched coming into the outside of the corner. Sébastien Roy behind, McCormick regains the lead.
Wow, you know, they're teammates off the track, but they're on the track, it's all out full-on war. Waugh passed him on the outside with an unbelievable pass, super calculated, unbelievable. And McCormick, as you saw, he jammed Waugh right back on the inside. No friends there. They're arch rivals on the track, but obviously in the pits they're teammates. But that doesn't mean anything out there on the track, as McCormick showed us all.
Here we have a great battle between number 17, Bart Stevenson, and number 26, Doug DeHaan on the two-wheel Pro Action Kawasaki. Earlier on, we saw Stevenson. We thought he had a problem with his bike, but DeHaan's coming up on him now. Stevenson goes inside. DeHaan goes outside and makes a great pass on Bart Stevenson. Boy, I tell you what, Doug DeHaan is really aggressive on this track. Back with our intense battle for first place, we have number 361, Jason McCormick, currently in first, followed by number 2, Jean-Sébastien Roy. Does Sébastien Roy have him on the inside? No. McCormick goes wide, takes him. The whoop section in front of the crowd. It's a real battle. They're neck and neck. And, oh, look at Jean-Sébastien Roy hit that double jump and take McCormick in the exact same spot he passed him on the last lap. Jean-Sébastien Roy really has this track ironed out. He knows everything about it.
Jean's got a way faster line around that last corner before the finish line jump there, and you could see how much time he made on McCormick on that.
You are watching the #1 plated rider. That's Marco Dubé riding for Suzuki AXO Canada, currently in 5th place. You know, Ross, as I watch Marco around the track here, he looks like he's riding a very smooth race, and he does not appear to be hurt, although when we talked to him before the start of this race, he had the ice bags on, he was getting the massage, and I didn't think he was going to be able to even start this race.
We saw there Waugh going through the last lap flag, comfortable lead. He's going to just concentrate on keeping the thing on 2 wheels here on the last lap, and he'll have a comfortable cushion for the victory here.
You're watching the #3 bike of Blair Morgan riding for the 2-wheel Pro Action Kawasaki team, comfortably in 4th place. There doesn't look to be anybody behind him or ahead of him. Just to recount our top 5, we've got Waugh, then we have Jason McCormick, Darcy Lang, Morgan as we stated, and in 5th place I think we have Marco Dubé. But if that list changes, we will update it as quickly as we can. We're back with our leader, #2, that's Jean-Sébastien Waugh, riding for Planet Honda on the 125 as we stated. Now let's just recount, this is not normally the bike that he rides down in the States, and as a matter of fact, he hasn't spent a lot of time on this 125 at all, but it is not showing. He is putting it all together in this 125 and riding a masterful race.
Did you see Waugh take a look back there to see where McCormick was? He just took a quick check over his shoulder just to make sure he wasn't getting too close to him. He knows he's got it here as he rounds the last corner here, and he's coming up to the checkered flag for the big win.
And Jean-Sébastien Waugh takes the checkered flag on the second 125 moto of the afternoon. A very clean technical race for him. He has to be happy with that performance. Well, Ross, let's have a look at the race results for the second 125 moto. How about that, Jean-Sébastien Waugh?
Well, he just dominated the second 125 moto. He finished first on his Planet Honda, and he's out of Quebec, Canada. In 3rd place was a big surprise, Darcy Lang on his factory Kawasaki out of British Columbia. And, of course, rounding out the top 5 was Marco Dubé on the #1 factory Suzuki Canada ride.
And how about Marco Dubé, injured in the first 125 of the day, gets a nice 5th place finish. The riders are on the line for the second 250 moto of the day. This is the 4th moto of the day, the last one. 30-second board is up. Riders making their final second adjustments. I guess they're just mental adjustments at this point. Waiting for the 5-second board for the gate to drop. And there it goes! The start of the second 250 moto. Coming into the first turn, let's see who gets the whole shot.
Looks like Ryan Huffman, number 341 on that Planet Honda there in #1 spot, followed by a Honda rider, which is number 21 on a Honda.
We're back with our leader, number 341. That's Ryan Huffman, riding for Planet Honda. That's his second whole shot of the day. We have another rider down. That's number 31, Marty Madsen, riding for the Blackfoot Motorsport team from out west. Looks like he's having trouble getting his bike going. Let's see if he can get it going and back into the race.
That's right, Marty's out of Okotoks, Alberta there, and looks like he had a little problem. He had a good ride the last moto. Look at Huffman, he's pulling away. That start on this last 250 moto will really help him achieve his goal here of maybe winning this race. That'll give him the overall if he can do it. Oh, we've got another rider down between the Twin Peaks here, number 91.
That is number 91. That's Nicky Dunn riding for Spunky's Yamaha. He's got his bike going. Looks like he's back in the race. Here we are back with our leader, number 341, Ryan Huffman, really riding a smooth race. Look at how fast he's got this one going. By getting that whole shot, he really wins the first battle of the race. That is getting out in front and leading the race and being able to ride your own race.
Jean-Sébastien Waugh just passed Marco Dubé.
Here we have the number 2 bike of Jean-Sébastien Waugh, who, as Ross stated, just passed Marco Dubé and is now in 3rd place. And he's moving up on number 3, Blair Morgan. So we have a really interesting battle developing here for 2nd place between 3 of our top riders from last year. And what I see happening is that Dubé is going to settle back. He's going to let Waugh and Morgan battle it out, and then he's going to pick up the pieces. And that's a great place to be in, because what happens is that you can wait for that hole, wait for that mistake. You're watching the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. We're back with our leaders in the second 250 moto of the day. Looks like Jean-Sébastien Waugh, he has overtaken Ryan Huffman for 1st place. Boy, that was a battle in the straightaway. It looked like Jean-Sébastien Waugh did not wait for a corner. He took him in the straightaway. There is no question that he is the faster bike out there. Jean-Sébastien Waugh putting it all together in the second 250 of the day. Here we go with a great battle between 2 Western riders. We got De Vries and Lang battling it out for 6th spot into the Twin Peaks. Let's see who gets that second peak. Looks like DeVries on the outside, who we just had a look. Lang coming on the inside. Great battle between these two Western riders. We're back with our battle for second place. We got Morgan and Ryan Huffman. Looks like Morgan on the outside. Morgan with a great charge. Look at how fast Blair Morgan is going on that outside line. Has he got Huffman? No, Huffman goes outside. Looks like he's a little slower. No, he gets great acceleration coming out of the corner, and that stiff berm. Morgan behind him, Huffman ahead. Is Morgan gonna go on the wide side? Let's see what happens coming into this next corner. Huffman takes a midline. Morgan squares off the corner, gets some great acceleration. Look at that pass by Blair Morgan coming into the bottom of the peaks. I think he has him. Let's see. Morgan on the inside, coming into that bottom corner. Second peak, it's Huffman on the inside. Let's see the line that Huffman takes. Where does he go? Oh, he goes upside. Morgan inside. Great racing by Ryan Huffman. Great block.
Well, I give Huffman a little bit of credit. He's putting up a bit of a fight here. I mean, Morgan's rode 4 motos and Huffman's only rode 1. And bang, there, Morgan got him back. Morgan's determined, and he's going to take this guy here for second spot. He's not going to let him back.
Ross, they just touched in the middle of the track. Morgan goes inside and pulls away from Ryan Huffman. How about that pass from Blair Morgan? What a great line. Here we are with the number 26 bike of Doug DeHaan, who's currently in 5th spot, I think. But here we are back with the battle between Morgan and Huffman. Oh my, Huffman went inside and took Morgan. I don't know what Morgan was thinking. He looked back over his shoulder, and by that time, Huffman had taken the inside line and stuck him. So that was a great battle between these two riders, who originally we thought Ryan Huffman was starting to fade, but now it looks to me like Blair Morgan is the one that maybe is fading a bit. We're back with our leader, number 2, Jean-Sébastien Waugh.
Waugh's making this look like a cakewalk out here. He's in awesome shape, and he's just pulling away from everybody. I mean, he's stretched out his lead over Huffman by, I don't know, it looks like about 20 seconds there.
You may be right, Ross. It might be 20 seconds, but here we go with our battle for 3rd place. It's a terrific battle between a pair of Kawasaki's and teammates. Number 3, Blair Morgan, is currently in 3rd place, but he's followed by number 26, Doug DeHaan. Let's see what happens in this corner going into the straightaway. DeHaan gets a nice jump in acceleration coming in. Morgan goes wide, and DeHaan looks like he passed him with ease. I'm not sure what's going on with Morgan. Looks like he was adjusting his goggles. I'm not sure. It looks like he's almost given up here, but DeHaan is now in 3rd place. We're back with our leader, number 2, Jean-Sébastien Waugh, and we've just been given word that the last lap flag is out, so Sébastien Waugh is on his last lap. But this is a very important part of this race, though. This is the time when a racer has to keep concentrating and keep riding his race, because if he lets his guard down and if he falls or bobbles or comes into a corner loose, the guy who's in 2nd place can pick up some time. Sébastien Waugh making the turn around the big tree before the whip section in front of the crowd. Let's see if he gives the crowd a big show as he comes into the double before the checkered flag. And Jean-Sébastien Waugh points to the crowd and takes the checkered flag on the second 250 moto win for the day. Picking up our 2nd place rider, number 341, that's Ryan Huffman. Rounding the big tree, coming into the whip section in front of the crowd, his final leg of the race. Here he is coming into the double. I'm sure he's going to be happy with his 2nd place finish. There he is, Ryan Huffman in 2nd place. We'll be right back with the Snapple Canadian National Motocross Championships. As we have a look at the combined 125 moto standings, we see Jean-Sébastien Waugh and Jason McCormick up on top, tied for points. But right behind them, we have Blair Morgan, Darcy Lang, and Doug DeHaan on the Kawasaki's. Interesting to note, those 3 riders will be battling it out in Moncton, so those positions are going to change dramatically in the 125s. As we move into the combined 250 moto standings, we notice that Jean-Sébastien Waugh is up on top with 50 points and 2 moto wins. But how about that logjam for 2nd place? Huffman, DeHaan, and Morgan all with 40 points. Darcy Lang in 5th place, rounding out the top 5. But as we stated before in the 125, these positions will change as we move into Moncton next week. Some great racing here.